This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we are going to try to become one in this cooperative game. And we're going to become one mind, because we need to think and act and read body language all together as if we're one cohesive unit. Today we're going to be taking a look at the mind. This is going to be coming to North America by Pandasaurus later this year. It's from NSV in the European region right now. And this is a cooperative game where we're trying to play cards without talking. What does that mean? Let's show you. The object of the mind is to get through a certain amount of levels depending on the amount of players. For instance, with 4 players, you're trying to get through 8 levels. And you'll have 4 lives to be able to get that done. Each player is going to get a card, one for each level they're on. For instance, everyone's going to get 1 card in level 1. Now each player will look at their card secretly, but they won't show it to anybody else. And what they're going to try to do is play these cards in ascending order face up on the table. But the trick is you can only use body language and you cannot use secret signs, so you're watching people where they're looking. Do they look anxious? Are they up on the table? Are they not? To figure out when to play. So let's say these are the cards you had. Now of course nobody would be able to see these cards. These would all be secret in your hand, but you're able to see your own card. Now let's say we see the lowest number there is 27. Let's say this player, they're not quite sure if they have the lowest card, right? There might be someone that has one lower, maybe not, they're not sure. So as we start off, everyone's trying to figure out who has the lowest card, when should I play my card? And so you're looking around, looking at body language, and trying to figure out when is the right time to play that card. So let's say this person plays the 27 down. Now, if there are any cards that are lower than this, they would raise their hand, they'd say stop, you'd lose one of your lives, and all those cards that were lower than that, regardless of how many players, would get discarded out of the game. Then you continue on, trying to get them in ascending order. If you get all the cards out there, then you have completed the level. Those cards will then get shuffled in and you'd go to the next level. And in this case, you get as many cards as what level you're in like usual. So in this case, everybody would get 2 cards for level 2. Now depending on which level you finish, sometimes you'll get extra things. This will give you an extra star, which allows, if you want to, you can raise your hand and everybody else can raise their hand too. If everyone raises their hand, everyone gets to get rid of their single lowest card. They get to just discard that face up in front of them so everybody can see what their lowest card was. And some levels can even get you a life back to keep you alive longer in the game. And as you can see, you have to get through a certain amount of levels. With 4 players, you need to get through the 8th level. Now, if you make it through your final level, you can essentially start over, but what you do is you actually play the cards face down. And at the end of the round, you flip face up all of the cards, and for every one that was wrong, you lose a life. This is called extreme mode, and it's extremely hard. Now I've already done sort of a sneak peek mini review of this after playing it 4 or 5 times at the Gamma Trade Show, but I've gotten a copy now and I've gotten to play it more than 30 times, many times at each of the player counts. So I wanted to sort of revisit this and give it a full review here. Now first of all, game is super easy to teach. I can literally teach this game in 1 minute to anyone who's not even ever played any games before. And this game, the biggest thing about this is it's very much an experience like no other. This is one of those games that, a lot of times you say, you play a game, you'll be like, well, I've never played anything like that before. This screams that. I mean, it's like, wow, this just feels so different. It just has this interesting thing. It also reminds me of those times where it feels like a classic. You play this game and you're like, wow, are you sure this game hasn't been out for 30, 40, 50 more years? Because it feels like it could have been around forever. And it's one of those games you're like, man, why didn't I think of that? It's like, and it's not that often that a game comes out that you feel that with. I felt that way when Codenames first came out. It's like, wow, this could have been out long ago, but yet it's still good. But even though it's just recent, and why didn't I think of that? This has that same sort of thing. And the experience here is just, it's hard to put into words, but it's very unique. I've played this with hardcore gamers, with casual gamers, and people that just don't even play games. And every single person I played this with really likes it and wanted to buy it. So this game is just fantastic. Another thing I like is as you play this game, your teams get better. You especially with the same people, you get this synergy. You'll play it and you'll get better and better and better as you play, and it's just so interesting to watch how bad you do at first, and you're trying to figure out all the timing, and then as you get better, it really feels good to play this and get better and better and better. It's such a good aspect of this game. And speaking of playing it over and over, I've never played this game less than 3 times in a row, and that should say something. This is one of those games that you want to play over and over and over. Sometimes we'd play this over an hour, just keep playing it over and over. The game is pretty portable. It's small. I've even played it in line. I was in line for the doors opening of a comedian last weekend, and 4 of us played it. One person who wasn't playing it kind of held the box in the middle for all of us, and so we could have both hands. But we could play it in line, and we did that. So it's small, portable. You could play at little restaurants. It's quick. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to play it. And then this is another one of those games that's almost as fun to watch as it is to play, where people come over like, what are you guys doing? And we're making these things, and we're leaning in, and we're looking away, and looking uninterested, and playing cards, and whoa, big explosions happen if someone plays a card, someone plays the next one right after it, and it's the number right after it, and it is fun to watch too. Player counts. Now, since I didn't comment this during my Gamma video, during my mini review, I've had a chance to play all player counts, and I gotta say, this game scales very well. I don't even know if I could say which one I like it with best. They're just all very good. I mean, with 2, it's just you and them, but the amount of scaling with the amount of lives and the amount of levels you gotta go through feels good, feels about right. But it works well. I mean, they do feel different, because with 2, it's literally just you and them, and you actually get to really know that person well. But with 4, it might be a little harder, but of course it's scaled to make it somewhat balanced. But every player count, 2, 3, and 4, I've absolutely loved this game. They all work excellent. Anything that's negative? Well, the cards have black borders, and I dislike black bordered cards because they get nicked very easily, and these cards, if you know the number that someone's holding, could ruin things. And so that's sort of a downfall. Also, if you sleeve the cards, they won't really fit in the box. I mean, I guess you could kind of put a rubber band around and have it stick up and poof up, but it doesn't really fit that much in there if you sleeve it. And then the theme is quite detached and strange. You've got this little bunny, you've got stars, and it doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense. I would have liked to have seen them come up with something a little bit more interesting that fits, of a team of people that are trying to do something together all at the right time, whether it's someone in a trauma unit or someone in trying to fight crime, or something where a team that actually does something in real life trying to make this, I think, would have brought this game further. But with that being said, this game's amazing. I can't imagine it not being on my top 10 games of the year at the end of the year. That's how highly I think of it. Thanks to Eric Martin for teaching me this from Board Game Geek at Gamma. And he had mentioned to me as we played this, he thought this would be a Spiel des Jahres nominee, and I 100% agreed with him. I would be surprised if this game doesn't get nominated or even win the Spiel des Jahres. It's that special of a game, and that's the mind. And because I love it so much, let's induct it properly with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.